Take a look at the ERA plus leaders, park adjusted and adjusted for the run scoring environment as well. This is going back to 2018, and Blake Snell getting in there at the bottom at 148. DeGrom way up there as well. But Blake Snell in the news again as there were reports out that the Rays are open to trading Blake Snell. Their would-be ace. He's got 3 years and $39 million left on his contract. Does this fit their MO, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, their catcher's gone, right? Mike Zunino is going to make too much money. He was non-tendered, essentially DFA'd. Hunter Renfroe, right fielder, gone, made too much money. Charlie Morton, $15 million. No, we can't pick that up. He's gone to the Braves. So, you know, Blake Snell is sort of like a luxury. I mean, listen, every team would like him. I think he's much more than a 5-inning pitcher. When you pitch in Tampa, that's what you become, though, right? So if you have Blake Snell making $13 million a year and he's a 5-inning pitcher, did you see Shane McClanahan, the way he threw for the Rays in the postseason? Did you see Josh Fleming? You got Brett Honeywell coming. These guys can be 5-inning pitchers in the grand scheme of things because they have so many relief pitchers that the idea of carrying a guy you're paying like an ace when you don't use him like an ace becomes a luxury for the Rays. I would just let him run and be a 7 or 8 inning guy. That's not going to happen in Tampa Bay. So put him on the market and see if you can get 3 players for him.
But what they've done the last few years, and look, this year they were 40 and 20. The year before they won 96 games, they won 90, is you have those solid guys going if it's not the traditional 7 or 8, but you have kind of 2 or 3 days locked in, and then you can get cute as heck on those other days, right? We're going to bullpen this day, we're going to tandem start that day, but you start with that foundation. That's why I think they would be loath to do it unless they feel like, and they have done this before, Ronnie, where it's like, hey, sell before it becomes a thing, right? Sell early.
That's right. I think, you know, what we think is common Rays practice, they're probably on to the new thing when you think about it. And I thought the same way. They can have those openers, although they didn't have a lot of openers last year in a 60-game season as they did the year before. But you can have those openers if you have those 3 solid guys. Now, they've done this in the past, right, with Shields and Price and Archer, guys that had remaining years on the contract. So they're not afraid to do this. And I'm with Tommy. I think, you know, you expect your best pitcher is going to at least pitch 2/3 of the game. He's not even close to that. And I think he's a better pitcher than that, can go deeper in the games. I don't know what the injury reports that the Rays have on Snell. He's had some injuries post his Cy Young. But it's the fungibility of their relievers this season, from season to season. They have guys in that bullpen that throw hard that are great. But if you look at their track record from the years prior, some guys were left on scrap heap. Right. And they kind of took them and made them into these great relievers. Well, maybe they're starting to feel that with their young talent coming up and with so many free agents, starting pitchers out there that are free agents, maybe that's where you go. You get some of these arms and let them get 15 outs, and we go right to the bullpen again.
Yeah, let's take a look at who the Rays have out there. It's hard to really discern, but basically, because we did an examination, like, why are these guys beating the Yankees? Why are these guys winning? I mean, we know, you know, they're good, they're a dynamic team, but basically, Kevin Cash utilizes 2 teams, right? He's got a platoon. He's got there's infielders and outfielders. These are on their team, and let me just look at over these names. And I know, oh no, this guy's really good. This guy had a great postseason. These guys are not blowing you away, and yet this is a team that went 40 and 20. So maybe there is something to, and Tom, you've already sold me on it. Right, flip him now where you can get a bonanza. You got 3 years of club control. You can get different pieces like quality players along the lines of, I don't know, Meadows, who's, you know, a great deal, Kiermaier, who's kind of their foundation player. I guess you can get a bunch of those guys if you trade Blake Snell.
Well, and I think, you know, Ronnie touched on the fact that you know, there would be some free agent pitchers out there in future years, but this year it's kind of suppressed, right? There's not, you've got Bauer, and then you take a pretty decent step down to Odorizzi.
Right.
So when you're looking at the market, the Rays might be saying, okay, well, there's not a whole lot out there, especially big names. If we throw a big name out there, what can we get for him? What do you think a team would be willing to give up in this offseason for that kind of? And his deal is, I mean, 3 years, $39 million for a guy who won a Cy Young and is still fairly young and can potentially go out there and give you 200 innings. Hasn't done it yet because the Rays haven't allowed it. Only 180 is his Cy Young year. But look, this is a guy who can really be a difference maker. So, and the market's right. Let's put him out there and see what happens. Get a bite, and we might be able to get 3-4 big name prospects. That Archer deal to me, I played against a couple of those guys in Glasnow and Meadows in the minor leagues before they came up, and those guys were fantastic baseball players.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw that deal, look, Archer was very good in Tampa, but those guys were big league ready when I played against them, and they were going to be big talents, and they've shown that. And to me, that deal, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a deal like this where they can get guys who are young, controllable, but are big league ready. And I think Blake is the type of person you can get that for.
You rarely get a deal like that again in
Right,
your lifetime
that's
as a GM, where you get like, what? No, those were blue chip guys ready to go.
Well, we know Snell's not going to the Pirates. We know that for sure.
But it's not really about openers, though, Brian. Again, it's about they limit exposure for their pitchers because they have so many of them. Don't forget, this year they had a lot of injuries to pitchers.
Yeah.
Poche, McKay, Beeks, all these guys went down. Chirinos, they're coming back next year. So the inventory of arms allows them to turn their starters not into openers, 5-inning pitchers, twice around the lineup. That's it. Do we have guys in Honeywell, Fleming, McClanahan who can do that? Yeah, they can. And they can pay him $575,000 instead of $13 million.
Right.
So the inventory of pitchers, the way they find them, the way they draft them, the way they develop them, gives them the confidence to run this unique system of pitching.
And
where
if
it's
you're-
about not exposing guys.
And I would think too, if you're cost conscious this year, right?
Yeah.
You meant to your point, Anthony. $13 million a year. That's very affordable for a big shot.
For a
You're
big shot.
Big shot, right? And you take it on. It's like, all right, I hope we get 190 innings for $13 million. You're getting primo production. That's worth doing.
And I hate to throw a name out there because it makes them queasy probably at home, but imagine if you coupled with Wander Franco coming. You coupled Willie Adames with Blake Snell to send someplace. Now you're really talking of getting a haul.
Franco he's just arriving.
Oh, but he's arrived. Right,
yeah, that's
he's
it.
arrived.
But you're saying trading him?
No, Willie Adames with the Blake Snell trade because Franco's on the way.
Oh, because Franco's coming. I was saying
Yeah.
they're going to trade Wander
He wants
Franco.
an even bigger package.
Yeah. Willie Adames with Blake
Starting
Snell in the
shortstop
trade
and an ace.
because
Like,
Franco's coming.
when did you become Trader Lane? Like, everything must go. How about this? You like a nice field? We'll send a field with those trees.
Back up the truck.
We'll send in those trees.